Bushcraft camping basically refers to a style of camping that emphasizes self-reliance and primitive skills in the wilderness. It's all available using natural resources for shelter, fire, and food, often relying on traditional survival techniques such as fire making, shelter building, and foraging. I'm sure you're wondering, how does it differentiate itself from camping? Let's figure it out. But before that, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Now, what exactly is bushcraft? In a literal sense, it's the skills required to live in the bush. The bush being a commonly used term to describe an area of wild country, one that is remote and does not generally have much, if any, habitation. Human beings are almost extinct in the wild. The majority of us would be clueless in a true survival situation, having been coddled and cosseted by the comforts of civilization, cloistered away in our homes and offices, with fresh water at the turn of a tap, warmth at the touch of a button, and food delivered to our doors. We have lost touch with the natural rhythms and resources that keep us alive. The acquisition and practice of survival skills seeks to redress this imbalance, and it has a name: bushcraft. Bushcraft campers typically use minimal equipment and aim to connect with nature while honing their outdoor skills. Bushcraft skills provide for the basic physiological necessities for human life, which are food through foraging, tracking, hunting, trapping, fishing, water sourcing and purification, shelter building, and firecraft. These may oftentimes be supplemented with expertise in twine making, knots and lashings, wood carving, campcraft, medicine and health, natural navigation, and tool and weapon making. Bushcraft consists of the knowledge that is required to handle certain tools such as bushcraft knives and axes. A bushcrafter can use these tools to create many different types of constructions, from dugout canoes to A-frame shelters. There are various types of shelters to construct or use in the wilderness. The first is a purpose-built shelter, almost like a tent. Another example is an improvised shelter, like using a large tarp or blanket as a tent. Indigenous shelters include a snow cave or bark lean-to. And lastly, we cannot forget to mention the natural shelters, which include caves, underneath a tree, or within thickets. Bushcraft includes the knowledge to tie different knots for different purposes. These knots include the reef knot, figure 8 loop, improved clinch knot, clove hitch, and snare noose. Tying bondages together like a sling is a common use. It is commonly used to start a lashing binding one thing to another, such as a shelter frame. The snare noose is commonly used to catch animals. The snare consists of a noose attached to an anchor point, like a shrub. As the animal moves through the noose, the line will tighten around its neck. The term bushcraft was popularized in the Southern Hemisphere by Les Hiddens, who later came to be known as the Bush Tucker Man, and in the Northern Hemisphere by Mors Kochanski, and more recently gained considerable currency in the United Kingdom due to the popularity of Ray Mears and his Bushcraft and Survival television programs. The origin of the phrase bushcraft comes from skills used in the Australian bush. Often the phrases wilderness skills or woodcraft are used as they describe skills which are undoubtedly used all over the world. So in conclusion, bushcraft camping is about going old school in the wild. It's all about using basic skills to survive and thrive outdoors. People who love bushcraft camping learn to make shelter from natural stuff, start fires without lighters, and find food in the wild. It's like camping with minimal gear and embracing nature fully. This kind of camping helps you connect deeply with the outdoors, teaching you to be clever and resourceful. From building shelters with what's around to finding food and making fire without fancy tools, bushcraft camping is a cool way to enjoy nature in a down-to-earth way. Do you find the idea of bushcraft camping to be thrilling? And would you ever want to try it out? Let us know your thoughts down below in the comments. If you found this video informative, don't forget to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more such content.